Welcome back to Winter Park, Florida, everybody, for the Albin Polasek Museum. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. This place is like 5 minutes from Park Avenue in Winter Park, and it is like a very smallish museum. I have a feeling it's not going to take too long to go through the museum, but it's also a sculpture garden outside. If you want to see what the museum looks like and the sculpture garden, then stay tuned and let's go. So I'm not really sure when the museum opened back up, but here is a list of stuff that they have implemented. So it's literally like a minute till opening, so hopefully even with limited capacity, I'll have no problem getting in. Alright, so this area says museum entrance, but whatever that is still says closed. And this has a sign here, so what is it telling us to do? So this says to call ahead. This fountain is super pretty. So somebody did just come out and switch the little sign from closed to museum entrance. So let's head on in. This is gonna make me have to pee if I stand here for much longer. Still relaxing though. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Hello. Okay, there's where I just entered. I have such a deep appreciation for art. Let's see what's in this corner over here. Also, I did get a map of the sculpture garden, because you guys know me, I get lost very easily. This lady's facial expression kind of looks like how I feel when I go to plant some plants or water my flowers. I'm like, please God, don't let my flowers die. This is super creepy. Oh, I kind of like the pumpkin head dude. And this one's $2,000. So that's kind of nice. You can buy all the artwork. This one's $1,200. $3,000. You have to like just stand here and appreciate the art for a while. Appreciate it. Okay, so when I said the museum was small, this is it. I guess there's special exhibits that rotate throughout here. And this is what's currently on display. We'll take a closer look, but this little area, this is it. So you have this little room with some art, and then that's where I just came from. Like, that's the entrance over there and the art that we were just looking at. So that is it. So again, not big at all, but I think the main thing is going to be the sculpture garden outside. Ooh, there's other people in here with me. I'm not alone. This is mighty impressive though. Look at the detail and the facial expressions. She's even got a mole. Man. Again, I could never do anything like that. I can't even draw like a straight line. So yeah. Hats off to all of you amazing artists out there. I absolutely love this. All the swirls, looks like abstract flowers and just all the colors. That is awesome. That's $5,500. And here's the information for the artist. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. And this one, I like it too, but also very creepy. It only has like one eyeball. What? It definitely has like a creepy Halloween feel to it. I don't think the artist even knew what they were doing because it's untitled. Another one that is just too awesome. The artist does not want to sell it. I do not blame them. Here's one that somebody liked so much they bought it. This one is sold. Okay, let's go outside for a little bit. I still have 14 minutes. Was that a frog? Oh, it's a lizard. Hi, lizard. I was like, something just jumped. I have like 15 minutes until the tour of the house, but come outside for a little bit. That's really cool. So we can see some of the things. All right, so first we'll get a closer look on these. It's called the Stations of the Cross. looks like the grounds are kept very nice. Man, I don't want to go too far though, because I only got 10 minutes if I want to take the tour of the house, and I don't really know what that means, so of course I want to take it. How impressive this tree is. That was a weird tree. I like you, tree. Look everybody, it's Peter Pan. No, really, it is. It says Pan. I'm not just making that up because I like Disney. Wait a second. Female Pan? There's a female Pan? Maybe that's not like Peter Pan. But you know what? I don't know. Where does the story of Pan originate? Maybe that is the original Pan. Or there. Maybe that's him. There's a sculpture here, but I think we're supposed to kind of stay off the grass. I guess technically we could go on it because there's little picnic benches and stuff here, so nah. That's why we got zoom on the camera. The Victorious Christ. That is mighty impressive. And this plant is pretty too, but man, that's crazy. Okay, I have 5 minutes before the house tour starts, but one, it feels nice and breezy, like maybe it's gonna start raining, and two, I know I'll just get easily distracted and I'll end up missing the tour, and I don't want to miss the tour. Maybe the tour is cool, so I'm gonna go back inside. Also, never mind, the sign says please walk on grass, so I am okay to go on the grass. I thought I said please don't walk on grass. Reading's hard. So they're running a little late on the tour, so I came back outside again. This lizard is enjoying the statue. Are you having a good day, buddy? Dude, get off the sculpture. That's disrespectful. Move, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna keep walking for a little bit since I got a few minutes to kill. This poor tree, I bet it's incredibly beautiful when it's in full bloom. Aw, poor little pretty flowers. I love fountains, but boy oh boy, do they make me have to go to the restroom. The sculpture is called Evolution. I can't see the name of this one because again, we have another lizard. So it's unfettered. That's a very nice pose you have there, ma'am. Okay, we have entered the house.
He moved in on January 1st of 1950. He was healthy, he was vibrant, he was happy. And in May of 1950, he had a massive stroke.
Oh gosh.
And the stroke left him forever paralyzed on the entire left side of his body. Now he's confined to a wheelchair. God, you've got gorgeous eyes.
Thank you.
You've got beautiful eyes. You've got tiger eyes. They are incredible.
Very expressive. They're helpful during COVID.
The house was built in 1950, but in 1962-63, when President Kennedy said during Bayard Pigs that everybody needed a bomb shelter, he built one. The problem with it is it's still above ground. You're going to get nuked when the blast comes overhead.
Definitely.
The vapor dust.
Oh gosh.
But I guess if he was in there with his wife, he'd go happy man. Emily was his second wife. And when he married her, he gave this to her as her wedding gift on her wedding day. It bears her face and her name. This was done in 1942. She's called Mother Crying Over the World, and she was specifically created to honor every mother on the planet who sends her son off to war. So there are no countries on the world. It's one mama, one world. And she was created during World War II when the Germans, the Japanese, the Italians, you know, everybody was at each other's throat. And in order to pour this, Polasek had to take pictures of the original clay from the top to bottom, all the way around, send it all off to the Department of War, and ask permission to use metal.
Wow.
The US government said, because it's wartime, we can't sacrifice a lot, but we're willing to sacrifice 40 pounds of bronze because she so embodies the way every mother around the world feels. This is Victory of Moral Lots, a metaphor piece. The rider is the US, horse is democracy, serpent is communism, and the sphere is the world. This is poured aluminum, and the reason we show this to people is Albin Polasek believed firmly that the United States would eradicate communism from the planet. But the more important reason we show it to people, he became paralyzed in May of 1950. And it is magnificent for somebody who is creating it from a wheelchair with only their right hand. Absolutely amazing.
I can't imagine. I can't even do anything with both hands.
I know. When Polasek was commissioned to honor Thomas Masaryk, the first democratically elected president of the Czech Republic, He started doing this and realized he can't do it in his studio space. It's going to be too big. So he used Blackstone Hall at the Art Institute of Chicago, and that's Polasek at the legs of the horse. This is 19 feet from the base to the top of the head, and then it sits on a 40-foot red granite obelisk at the Midway Palisades. And in order to get it out of Blackstone Hall, it had to be cut into 27 pieces, and they had to be strategic cuts so that the seams wouldn't show.
Wow.
Absolutely amazing. The sculpture up there, the nude woman, that is called Unfettered. You might see her out in the garden in the roundabout. She honors us women getting the vote. Prior to the vote, we could not inherit, couldn't have a checking account, couldn't own land.
Wow.
After we got the vote, we became an economic force that hasn't been stopped since, and our shoe budgets alone could keep America going for a long time. Albin Polasek in 1939 got that 40-piece order commission from St. Cecilia's Catholic Cathedral in Omaha, Nebraska. He did the crucifix. He was the first sculptor not to sculpt Christ with his head down in defeat, but looking up to the heavens at the victorious moment, he says, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." Henceforth the name Victorious Christ. This is Albin's first known work. He may have others, but this is the only one that we know of. He did the nativity between the ages of 15 and 18, and these are not arbitrary figures. These are the people that lived in his village of Franstadt, Moravia in the Czech Republic.
Wow.
So this truly is the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, even the family cow babushka got into this boyhood art.
That's amazing.
In 1907, he's a first-year student at the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts. The guys ask him to go to a seminar, and he thinks it's about art. It's New Age religion. And the man is speaking, and Albin Polasek is sitting there being a Catholic thinking, I can't listen, I can't listen, I can't listen. I'm going to go to hell for listening. And all of a sudden, he starts thinking about what the man is saying. He's thinking, this man is ignorant. He does not realize that when God births a man, every man, he births him blind and like a piece of rock. But with every decision you make, right or wrong, you carve yourself out of your rock to your own destiny. It's not God's doing that makes you right or wrong. It's you making wrong choices that makes you do what you do. And so he firmly believed that he carved himself out of his rock to his own destiny. The idea so resonated with him that over his lifetime he did more than 54 versions of man carving his own destiny, a number of them more compact and a little smaller, called Evolution, and a select few that would hit the rafters in this room. Those are called Colossus. Madonna, did I tell you about the Madonna?
Mm-mm.
Okay, Madonna of the Corn, when he gets that 40-piece order from St. Cecilia's, one of the pieces is going to be a Madonna. The way he honors his mother, because nobody knows what Mary looked like, he uses his mom's image for Mary whenever he does it. This was meant to honor the Blessed Mother, but it's going to Nebraska where all the corn farmers live, so he's got to honor the corn farmers. And how do you do that and not be corny? He puts the corn stalk in her hands and figures this will honor all of the corn farmers in Nebraska. When she arrived at St. Cecilia's, they gave her a new name, so she is no longer Madonna of the Corn, she is Our Lady of Nebraska, but they also gave her her own chapel, and she now lives in the Our Lady of Nebraska chapel at St. Cecilia's in Omaha, Nebraska, which is one of the largest, most important Catholic cathedrals in the United States.
Wow.
And that basically ends our tour.
Wow,
now,
that's
Albin
awesome.
Polasek, just so you know, he played piano, he played mandolin, he played flute and panpipes, and he wrote music, and he sang, and he could draw. Oh, I need to take you out to the chapel. He was always in motion, always doing something, creating, even being paralyzed. Anything you see in the gardens, 1950 to 1965, he created while he was in a wheelchair. These are the drawings. These are the first things that he did post-stroke, and he started here. They are in order, 1, 2, 3, 4. This took 120 hours over 10 days. And then he took a week off, and then the next one he went on to, it took him 120 hours over 2 weeks, and then he took a break, and then 120 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So this is the better part of a year. And again, Mama's image is that of the Holy Mother. And then in the 12th station of the cross, Mr. Polasek placed himself and Mama at the death of Christ. And this is the piece he chose for his tomb.
Wow.
And he's buried at the end of Park Avenue in the Palm Cemetery, along with his first wife, And then there's a second memorial next to his main grave, and it's his second wife and her first husband. So they're all buried together up there at the Plum Cemetery. The Bible is more than 200 years old. It was his personal family Bible, and he read every page and denoted things in red ink. And the death mask is not a real death mask. He did it from memory. That's his mom. He couldn't be with her when she died, so he didn't want to forget her image, so he carved it into that piece of plaster.
Now this evolution sculpture we saw earlier has a whole new meaning. You guys, Denise was an absolutely amazing tour guide. I don't know if they like have multiple tour guides that come around or if it's just always her, but that was amazing. It was like an hour just looking at that house. Just all the stories, so much history. I think it's worth $10 just coming to get the tour. Like, definitely get the house tour if you come here. Now this sculpture, Denise told me that the man, Albin, that's him, he took some mirrors and did a sculpture based out of his body. That is insane. He also did the same thing for a sculpture that we saw before we even got into the museum. I will put a picture of this particular sculpture here. When he was a student in his very first year of this art school, he sculpted this sculpture that I put a picture of right here. And he had mirrors all around him. And he said he sculpted the legs based on himself. Like, he used the mirrors to sculpt his own thighs and legs. And then every other piece of the body, he said he used 22 men from around town. So he took, like, you know, the butcher's nose and the farmer's cheeks or whatever. Like, he composed that sculpture based on like 22 different people. That's pretty crazy. If you guys want to visit Chicago, don't worry, it's only 984 miles. Not that far. This is nice. It's not roped off, so we can go out on this little deck here. I can only imagine how much these houses cost right here on the lake. That's a lot of monies. And our last sculpture for our visit, man reaching for the moon. All right, Emily, it's time to say goodbye. This was a lot of fun. I honestly thought I was gonna maybe be here like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I was here for 2 hours, guys. And then the tour, seeing the house and ending at the chapel, that was worth paying $10. I will link the website down below if you want to check them out. Again, if you come just to see the art and the sculpture garden, I mean, you could enjoy it, but you have like a more significant appreciation for the art after doing the tour. A+++. Denise, you were awesome. So thank you, Denise, for giving the tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was very hard. Again, I did the tour for an hour. It was hard to like nitpick little pieces to put in the video. But if you enjoyed, please remember to give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time with another helping of a burger with everything.